when I was, it was that. So I read that in class as an optional reading. Like they gave everyone a list of books that you could choose. So I chose that book. You know, it wasn't like assigned reading. I remember when I was a senior in my social studies class, so our teachers would just like ask us questions, like moral questions that have like honestly kind of obvious answers, but they'd ask it like, what do you think about that? Like whatever you think is okay. And so I remember my teacher, who is like this really sweet guy who I like really have positive feelings about, and who I think cared a lot about his job, was like really passionate about teaching kids history for good reasons, but he asked us if we thought it was okay to drop the atom bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which to me is like, I mean, so like if you take kids who like don't have the knowledge to answer that, who like, you're just inviting them, and then you're like, share your feelings about this, and yes or no are both okay answers, is just like inviting them to say racist shit. And sure enough, someone, you know, it was like awkward silence, and then someone raised her hand and she was like, well, it got the job done. Yeah. And my grandma's from Hiroshima. My grandma like saw the mushroom cloud, and her brother died. And stuff like that like happens in classrooms in LO all the time, you know? It was kind of my first experience of me being like, oh, you're talking about my family. Like, you're talking about my group of people, you know? Which like kind of like hits you in the spine, like in a different way. And I mean, even to this day, like if I talk about my grandpa, I think the average American like doesn't remember the internment camps, which, you know, like makes you think about what we're doing now, and you're like, oh, so in 60 years is everyone gonna like just not know?